Hello everyone and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Colin and today Bairnt and I are going to start our third playthrough of Chronicles of Drunagor Age of Darkness. We're going to start the first side quest, the Ruin of Luccanor. Now, just to recap from the last playthrough, we did find out we did a couple things wrong in the boss fight, as we expected. The only item, just telling you this now, the only item on those boss cards that actually were directed by runes were based upon if they said plus X or times X and they were a specific color. All the other different things, like when it said fly, it should have always flown to the strongest hero, not fly at the value of blue runes. So sorry about that, we did that wrong. I have put a subtitle up, but just in case you missed that, so that you know when you do your play. Now let's start. Chapter 1, Chaos at the Docks. Your journey to Umbral was long, but at last you have arrived bone-tired, well after sunset. The streets are dark and oddly empty for a city that has such a well-established reputation for its hectic nightlife. You make your way directly to the harbor, where you know of an inn to spend the night and maybe gather some information about the artifact you're searching for. When you reach the harbor, you see only a few watchmen and sailors milling about. You hastily make your way to a tavern called the Hanging Net and push through the doors, trading the cold air of night for the more congenial firelit confines within. You are greeted by the smell of sea spray and ale. Usually a boisterous joint, you are surprised by the dark and somber silence that pervades the place. You settle at a long table near a dock worker of an old acquaintance and offer him a drink in exchange for any news and the recently returned sea-wing pride of the Umbral fleet. "They say she be cursed," comes the perplexing reply. "Haunted even, and that nae living soul has left her since they put in. I've been heirs since she landed, and I ain't seen no living soul from her, neither admiral nor crew." A shiver migrates down your spine as a teamster continues his tale, confirming your worst fears about the cursed artifact. "Aye, Admiral Luccanor, the pride of Umbral, set out 7 months ago to cross the deep sea. Said he'd add a lead on some ruins of your promising wealth, a plenty for any who'd sail with him. But when that ship came back, were little more a direct carrion, nae more in death. She were a mighty beauty of a ship when she left, all golden wood, but now looks like she's been rotten for centuries. Her masts be broke, and her decks be shattered, and an unnatural fog hangs over what's left o' her." A long, sad howl reaches your ears, and you swear you heard a distant scream. What little murmur of conversation there was abruptly stops, and every ear in the place strains to hear. Definitely screams, and louder now. You rise, and everyone in the tavern looks at each other apprehensively. A few head for the door, and you're right on their heels. The cause of the scream becomes clear as soon as you head for the wharf, as you are confronted by a panicked throng in desperate flight for the city. Near the docks, you can see houses on fire, and beyond that, a dark mass of hideously malformed creatures boil through the streets, tearing into the crowd wherever it can reach them. Screwing up your courage, you rush past the fleeing crowd towards the ships, plunging into the dense mists that haunt the place, the wan moonlight offering little comfort for your faltering heart. We have a different type of darkness spawning in this scenario. Instead of being summoned when the initiative token reaches the rune card at the end of the round, darkness tiles are spawned whenever a hero receives a curse cube. The darkness tile now considers the hero who received the curse cube as their darkness spawn point. You can totally ignore the printed ones on the map. If a hero is already on top of a darkness tile when you must place a new tile, it may be placed orthogonally adjacent to any darkness tile that is connected to the one the hero is standing on top of. After that, place the rune token on its appropriate space on the initiative track. So, whenever a hero receives a curse cube, you must draw a rune and place its respective tile on the map, pursuing the heroes, and then place the rune token on its appropriate space on the initiative track. If a hero receives 2 or more curse cubes from a single effect, draw the corresponding number of runes and resolve their placements one at a time. The darkness behavior, it's standard. The darkness will grow towards the strongest hero. If the strongest hero is already on top of a darkness tile or terrain, it'll go for the second one, and so on. And if all heroes are on top of darkness terrain, skip spawning them, but you still place the rune on the initiative track. Finally, our curse penalties for recalling. It is standard. Whenever a hero takes a recall action, willing or not, they gain the standard number of curse cubes, which is 1. You can see here our goal is to board the ship and defeat all monsters along the way. Now, this is our starting space, so we can start in any of these spots. We will have one Lady Claw, one Ravager, an event token, and then another Ravager. Now over here, we have this event token. It says, after you finish the setup, you are ready to play the adventure. When the last monster is defeated, read special event number 1. The rookie Ravagers will be below the orange runes, so they're still going to go before me, but they'll go after Sun. They have Cleave 2, which means if they're going to try and get adjacent to 2 people, hit them both. Fatigue 1, that's new. Fatigue 1 means they're going to take one of your cubes and exhaust it. Ugh. And then Bleed 1, that's just the regular bleed where you take a damage and then you discard it during your turn. The Lady Claw here has Cleave 2 and Knock Down. When they knock you down, you have to use your next movement to stand back up. 6 health and 8 health respectively. They both move a total of 4. One attacks for 3 and one attacks for 4 damage. Oh yeah, and the Lady Claw is below the blue rune. That's right before me, but still before Maya. So it'll be Sun, then the Ravagers, then the Lady Claw, then me.
Sun's going to start the battle off by using Join the Fray. She's going to self-shield 2 and move 2 and do a hit at +0. And we're going to go ahead and use a yellow cube for this attack. So let's go ahead and see what she can do. Oh man, I feel like Fist of the North Star. I don't know if you've seen this, but he just comes in with this like chi shield around him, and he comes just walking up near the end, and he just totally takes out a bunch of people. And that's what she's going to do. So we're going to go ahead and punch this with him, and we're going to get that shield token as well. We need a 7+ using our bloodied sword. Let's go ahead and roll that up. We got an 8, so that's enough to do our 3 damage. After using a weapon action, we're going to go ahead and do our abundant steps, which allows me to move 2 spaces. And if you're wondering why I'm actually moving extra, don't forget we have that boots of agility that gives us +1 speed or movement, sorry, on anything we do. So she's just going to cut right through here. 1, 2. Oh, she should do a backflip right over these guys. Check this out. Whoosh, because we're dorky that way. And now what she's going to do is she's going to go ahead and do an Iron Fist right on this guy. That's going to be a weapon attack as well, and it's going to get a reroll. I get +0 to it, but I do an extra damage. To do Iron Fist, we have to go ahead and use one of our yellow cubes. We don't have any left, but we do need to get a high number here. Oh, we got a 4. That's not enough. We only got a 5, but that's okay. I get a reroll. So we're going to go ahead and get him this time. Oh, or maybe not. We got a 4. Oh no, we missed. Sadly, I hyped up Sun so much, and then she just totally misses, but that's okay. Since we did do the action, though, I am still allowed to do my abundant steps, so we're going to go ahead and flip right over this guy and move right to that spot. 1, 2, 3.
So after Sun made a bit of a fool of herself, missing on her Iron Fist, even with a reroll. Come on. Okay. We're going to have both Ravagers go. They're going to try and Cleave 2. They can't. I'm too far away. So they're just going to do try and Fatigue 1 and Bleed 1 Sun. The orange one will go first. He will move 1, 2 to come right next to Sun and try and attack her for 3 damage.
We're going to prevent all this damage. The first thing we have to do, of course, is use our shield token. So we're going to soak up 2 of the damage that way. And I'm actually going to go ahead and spend one of my green cubes to self-absorb the other 2. So we're not going to take any damage from the first attack.
The green Ravager is going to go next. 1, 2, 3, coming on this side and trying to hit Sun for 3 damage.
She may not know how to hit, but she can totally take damage. I'm going to go ahead and use a green cube to divert 3, again, not taking any damage. The reason I'm doing this is they have so many other things they can do other than that 3 damage that just not taking any damage is good, because who wants bleed and fatigue 1? Not Sun.
Next is our Lady Claw. She has 8 health. She is going to try and Cleave 2. Once again, I'm too far away. She will target Sun because Sun has the most health, attacking for 4 damage and will knock Sun down if that damage, any damage of that goes through. And you can see here, she doesn't even have to move. She's just going to turn about face and try and attack.
I'm not too worried about being knocked down, basically because I didn't even use my move action the last turn because there was no place really to use it. I'm instead going to go ahead and use my diamond body, which is going to be a self, key 1, and retaliate. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my key tokens and place it down on my character sheet. And we're going to actually do 2 damage to this. But of course, we're taking 4, bringing our health 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 9. Yes, I had to count.
So it was great that Sun brought all the enemies as far away as possible from Maya, because guess what? Maya has a move of 3. 1, 2, 3, but she's not close enough to attack. Her range is 1. She needs, Yeah, well, too bad. I actually have, I think, a skill later on that will give her a longer range. But for now, I'm going to have to use an ability to get close enough to attack. I'm going to use my suppression shot here so I can move 3 and then deal 1 damage to 2 different targets. I'm going to hit the Lady Claw for 1, and I will hit the Orange Ravager for 1 as well. Maya's just going to move 1 space right here. She's now within range, so we've dealt 1 damage with our suppression shots to both of these. Let's now activate our coordinated strike. We'll use that second cube here, our range cube. We're going to do a +1/+1 for our hit since we have precision. And then we get to activate one of our pets. We're going to put out the wolf. We'll place our wolf right here, and we're going to do our coordinated attack on this green Ravager. We need a 7 or higher to hit. So let's roll for our first one. We have an 11. That's going to deal 3 damage. We'll roll our second one. That is a 20. A 20 is awesome because that means we get to activate one of our pets and we do double damage. Well, guess what? Double damage will definitely take out the green Ravager. Now, Bairnt, that's how you roll your dice. Not rolling twice and getting a 4 both times. Our wolf then, for his free activation, will move 1 space here. He can attack for 2 damage. Just so you can see, he moves 4, attacks for 2, and he will bleed 1 to whoever he attacks. With that 2 damage, though, it's just enough to take out this orange Ravager. We've just defeated both of the Ravagers. Now that's the end of my turn. He then gets to activate again, and he's right in the right spot to attack for 2 damage on the Lady Claw. She'll go down to 5 health, and she gains a bleed 1 token. So if she gets another turn, which my guess is not because Sun is pretty awesome, she will take a point of damage at the beginning of her turn.
Sun's going to start her activation off by going ahead and healing a little bit. She's going to use Remove Curse, which heals 2, bringing her up to 11 health, but it also is going to cleanse 1. Now, we don't have any curse cubes yet, so that's not going to take effect, but we are going to have to do an unwilling recall, so I'm going to go ahead and grab all my cubes, and then at this point, we do have to place a curse cube, so I'm going to go ahead and grab one of our curse cubes and place it down on a random skill. Nope, not random. I know exactly where this is going. How about Force Strike? Never used that before. Definitely never putting it here. For those of you who watch the other videos, that was the worst move ever. I've done a lot of worst moves in these games.
We'll grab into our bag of doom because remember, this is how our darkness gets placed on the board is whenever you get a curse cube, we draw from here. So this is our orange rune, and we're going to grab a darkness tile that looks like this. It's going to be spawning from Sun space. Looking here, we've placed the darkness starting at where Sun is standing. That means Sun will take 2 points of damage unless she tries to prevent it. And then we also have the Lady Claw will now get +1 to her attacks.
I have multiple ways to prevent this damage, but we're just going to go ahead and take the 2. I'm not too worried about it. Continuing with her turn, I'm going to go ahead now and use Iron Fist yet again. This time it's going to do better. We figured out what was wrong with that last roll. I was using Colin's dice and he was using my dice. So we made sure to switch our dice so that I've actually got my die back. We're going to go ahead and roll this up, and we got a 7, which is not enough. Well, normally is, but we have to add 2 because of the darkness that we're standing in. So the 7 doesn't hit. Maybe Colin didn't take my die. And we're going to go ahead and roll it again. This time I got an 8. That's fantastic. It still missed. Even though I did my weapon action and missed, I'm still able to get rid of my knockdown status because I'm going to use my abundant steps. Then we're going to be able to do our free move action for the turn. And I'm actually just going to move 1, 2 over to here. I'm adjacent to the door, hoping to go through next turn. But the way that I've been rolling, I'm hoping I'm not actually spreading that love to Colin. Hopefully he can take this guy out, and then we'll be able to go through the door the next turn.
The Lady Claw will be next to go, and the first thing is she is going to discard her bleed token and take 1 damage. She's down to 4 health. She would have died had Sun actually hit her. Next, she is going to try and target the strongest hero, and that now is Maya. So she's going to take 1 step here and attack me for 4 damage +1 because she's next to the darkness, so 5 damage. And unfortunately, she also cleaves, so that means she's going to cleave my dog. My dog can only take 1 damage. He's toast. I think I'm going to use my hide armor here. I'm going to tumble. I'm going to prevent 4 damage. That does mean I'm still taking 1. I'm going to go from 11 down to 10 health. Remember, I had +1 health because of something that I found in the adventure last scenario. So I'm down to 10 health. I am also knocked down. Of course, I should mention I do have a free move too, which means I can just get rid of the knockdown token. Ha! Take that. Now it's my turn. The first thing I'm going to do is use my free move. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. I'm within range 1 of that Lady Claw, and I'm not adjacent, so I can use my precise shot. This precise shot is going to give me +2 to my hit, +1 damage, which means I'll be dealing 4 damage, just enough to kill her, and I will crit on a 16+. This just means I need a 5 or higher to hit, and I hit with a 20 again, you guys. Oh my gosh. That's pretty epic. I think, do I want to do the dog? I just love the dog because it bleeds and it deals 2 damage. So I'm going to spawn the dog next to me because I rolled a 16 or higher. I would say that this Lady Claw is toast. What do you guys think? As you press through the smoke and mist, you see the platforms that lead to the ships, their wood creaking under the weight of the sea-born horrors marching for the city. The odor of the half-rotten sea things assaults your nostrils and churns your stomach. Bathed in the pale light of the setting moon, the horde of creatures flows like a black tide towards the city. There are too many for the handful of guards working the docks at this late hour. You must stop them at any cost. We have here, we'll add the setup shown to the right, and then you may continue to play the adventure. The yellow arrow, of course, must connect as always. This is probably one of the coolest boards I've ever seen. Look at this is the ship, and you're going to see it in 3D because it's going to have 3 levels. There's the front of the ship, the back of the ship. We've got our enemies here. We're going to have a Lady Claw fighter. We're going to have a Ravager rookie. We'll have 1 interaction token, and then another Lady Claw fighter. Here we have the board all set up. We've got our Ravager, 2 Lady Claws. Let's take a look at the Lady Claw fighter because that is new. These Lady Claws are definitely fighters. 10 health, 5 attack, move 4, cleave 2, knock down. They're immune to burn and to stun. And they will go still before me. Everyone goes before me. I'm the slowest ever. My second action, I'd love to do something amazing, but I'm way too far away to do anything. So I'm just going to focus, battle focus, gaining 1 focus. I could cleanse, but I don't have any curse cubes yet. That'll be the end of my activation. Let's move to Sun. I almost forgot about Fluffy. Fluffy's going to go next. Before Sun goes, he can move a total of 4. He's going to move right to here. He's going to bite that Ravager, who only has 6 health. So now he's down to 4, and he gains a bleed 1 token. Nice.
Sun is going to use some of those awesome tactics she has. And she's going to start by going and using her battle focus, which is going to cleanse and get rid of that. And I'm also going to gain 1 focus token. At this point, she's going to go ahead and, just kind of mosey on over with her relaxing walk here. She's going to move 3, and she's going to gain another focus token, flipping that to 2. With charismatic swagger, she's just going to walk 1, 2, 3, 4 over to here, and then she's going to go ahead now and use her key token to actually make the attack. I've done both of my actions, but I can still use all these extra things I got. So we're going to do the key attack first, which allows me to discard this to do a hit with +0. You see this die right here? Yep, it's missed 4 times. It's being decommissioned to goodbye. We're going to go ahead and use this one instead. Let's roll that one up and see how we do. Oh yeah, see, that's so much better. 2. I should probably decommission that die soon, but we're going to give it one more chance. I'm going to use both of my focus tokens, and sadly, this wasn't the exact plan I had. I told you I was going to be a burden on my team. We're going to go ahead and get rid of those. We're going to do body shot. Now, this gives me +3 to attack. How can I possibly miss this? I need a 4 or better this time. Also, I'm going to be able to do +3 damage. This means we're going to do 6 damage. If we hit, let's try that first, then we'll decide on damage. I get an 8. What do you know? I hit. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So now we did 6 damage, and we pushed 3, but guess what? Dead people don't get pushed. Sun sees that there's a couple more adversaries here that we don't want to deal with. So she's going to go ahead and use her abundant steps. Guess what? I haven't put a curse cube on that yet, and I probably never will again. So she's just going to flip back here, 1, 2, 3, right to here, meaning that these characters probably aren't going to get to her. But my attacks have been so sound so far, it could probably fail.
Moving to those Lady Claws, the nice thing is they can only move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can't get into range of Sun.
Tactics prevail.
Yes. Instead, they're just going to kill my dog. Then the second one's going to move 4 here, and that's it. Now it's my turn. Maya's going to use her free move, moving 3 spaces right to here. We are adjacent, or within 1 range, I should say, of these 2 Lady Claws. Let's attack them. We're going to use our rapid shot here. That's a +0/+0. Unfortunately, that is my last cube, so I'm going to have to do my unwilling recall. which means we're going to have to place a darkness out. And I'm going to have to place a curse cube. And I think I'm going to be placing that in my whistle blow. Let's draw our darkness tile, or I should say our rune. Okay, we're going to have this darkness tile. It is the green rune. We had to place the darkness where I was standing, where Maya was, and it also hit Sun. So that means we're both going to take 2 damage. I'm going to go from 10 health down to 8.
I'm going to go ahead and use our cloth armor to just prevent the 2 damage.
Now, Bairnt decommissioned this die. I'm going to recommission it because I have rolled 2 20s with it, so I don't know why he did that. Instead, I'm going to roll it. Now, I have to get an 8, but I have precision, so I'm down to only needing a 7, but I'm in darkness, so I have to add 2 to that, so I need a 9 or higher to hit. I'm going to attack the orange Lady Claw, needing 9 or higher to hit. We got a 10 for the first one, so that is 3 damage. And we got a 7 for the second one, so that is a miss. I'm then going to use my second cube here to do the battle focus. So I'm going to focus 1. That will give me my second focus token. And I'm going to remove that curse cube. This then is going to allow me to do an eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Haha! I get to attack 3 times. I still need that 9 or higher, but I'm going for that orange enemy. 3 rolls, looking for 9 or higher. That's a 15. That will deal 3 damage. He'll go from 7 down to 4. Second shot, we have a 3, which is a total miss. Bummer. And our third one, we have a 20. That is my third 20. Okay, first of all, we're going to drop, you know what? We're going to do the eagle this time. We're going to put the eagle out adjacent to us. Doesn't want to be in darkness, so I'll put that somewhere. But we just dealt double damage. That's 6 damage. Only had 4 health. That means this Lady Claw is toast. Why Bairnt doesn't like this die, I don't understand. Now that we actually know how to activate the eagle, it only took 2 videos, you guys. I will have the eagle activate, moving 1, 2, 3. It's going to attack. It's not adjacent to an ally, so we can't gain one of our action cubes back, which is a bummer. But it'll deal 1 damage to that Lady Claw. The Lady Claw goes down to 9 health, and then it will fly back to me, and I'll place him over here, because if I placed him in the darkness, he'd immediately be destroyed.
Sun's going to start her turn by using Join the Fray. And this time I'm not going to cause her to lose and not roll well by saying how awesome she looks as she's walking towards this person with a cheese shield on. We're just going to go ahead and give her a shield too and run up and attack. She's going to move 1, 2, 3 just normally, getting ready to hit normally with a die roll. We're going to go ahead and roll up our die. Now Colin's been saying I've been dissing my die, but I'm going to go ahead and see if I can hit with this thing. Let's go. I got an 18, yes! Oh, this time it actually loves me. So I wasn't able to do enough damage to actually, wound him, I guess. So we needed 3 damage with that attack, but don't forget I also got those 2 shields. I guess I ain't been dissing my die. That hit does bring her down to 6, and I get to use my abundant steps because, of course, we've done an attack. I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3 across this bridge. I'm leaving Colin the dust because check it out. Oh, I totally want to get this. And I get a free move action still. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 over here, and as a minor action, I'm totally checking out that token. Our interaction token brings us to this picture. Our options are try to tear down the bridge, destroy them all, burn the bridge, or just run away. Well, you know what? The Ghostbusters weren't afraid of no ghosts, and I've got chi, I've got key. I'm going to go ahead and try to destroy them all. Looking at the frightful scene of the creatures of the darkness marching, you feel your arms go limp and your heart beat faster. Your legs almost give in to the reflex of turning around and running away. But Sun, using her willpower, she refuses. You grit your teeth and firm your legs on the wooden deck, contracting all the muscles of your body in an attempt to replace your fear with fury. You roar at the creatures. If you die there, you will take them all down with you. And check it out, we gain 2 focus. We're going to change the setup as shown on the right. We'll show you that in just a second. Then we're going to continue to play the adventure. When the last monster is defeated, we are going to read End of the Adventure, boarding the Sea Wing on page 8.
Looking here, we can see we have some new enemies that are going to spawn. We're going to have an abomination, a rookie one. You haven't seen that yet. We'll then have a Lady Claw fighter, a Ravager, and another Ravager. Here we have our epic setup. Maya's still way over here. We've got Sun over here who left Maya in the dust. And look at now, she has all 4 of these enemies over here. We have our Abomination. I'll show you his card in a second. We've got 2 of the Ravagers, one here and one here that's apparently not looking the right way. And we have a Lady Claw here. And this Lady Claw is a fighter. These 2 are rookies, and the Abomination, which looks like this. Oh, scary looking man. And he's even stepping on someone. I love that. And the freaky looking hand coming out of him and those chains. Oh yeah, he was definitely a lot of fun to paint. As you could have guessed, the Abominations are actually going to go after me. Woohoo, they are that slow. They have 12 health. They are large, of course. They are immune to burn. They attack melee. They move 2, but remember, they move to areas. They strike 1, which means they strike an entire area. They bleed 2 and slow, and they attack for 5 damage.
Sun stands her ground. She gets 2 focus, and we have 1 action left. I'm going to go ahead and use my balance finding, giving myself the ability to self-heal 2 and gain yet another focus. So we have 3 focus tokens, and I'm going to be back up to 11 health. That is going to be the way we prepare for our epic fight. She's not scared. Now, of course, the problem is I've used all my cubes. So we're going to have to go ahead and do an unwilling recall. It's not unwitting, it's unwilling. We're going to do that. We're going to grab one of our curse cubes, and we're going to go ahead and place it down in abundance. Oh, I fooled you, not abundant steps. Force strike.
Well, then go ahead and draw a token or a rune from this bag. We have a red one this time, a nice straight one.
We got this super straight tile. I'm going to go ahead and place this out. We can place this however we want. Placing it this way would be a tragic event. We're instead going to go ahead and place it just like this. Put her on top of that, and she's going to take 2 damage. And we mandatorily have to use our defense tokens first, so I'm going to go ahead and use both of the shields to soak up that 2 damage.
The Ravagers are next. They have a total movement of 4. This one is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, trying to get close to Sun, but not able to. This one here, though, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, definitely is going to be able to attack Sun, and +1 damage because he is adjacent to darkness, so he's attacking for 4 damage. He will also fatigue 1 and bleed 1 if she doesn't stop it.
Sun's going to go ahead and use her oh no button. I've been waiting for this for a long time. We're going to go ahead and press the button. It's called backflip. It prevents 4, and it also gives me the ability to jump 3. Using Sun's sound tactics, she's going to go ahead and backflip right over to here. She's going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3. Hopefully she's able to keep out of range of all the other enemies coming at her.
Now the Lady Claws are going to activate. We start with this white one. So this white one would want to go towards Sun because Sun has more health, the strongest hero. But 1, 2, 3, 4 can't reach her. Unfortunately, 1, 2 can definitely reach me. It gets +1 to its attack. So it's going to move right here. It's going to attack me. And you know what? It can cleave. So it's going to actually move 1 more so it can cleave and kill my eagle without a doubt. And it's going to attack me for, oh, actually it's 6 damage. Wonderful. I'll use my wisdom cube here to use my hide armor. I'm going to prevent 4 out of the 6 of that damage. And then I would try and move 2, but she does knock me down, so I'll just not place the knockdown token. I'll go from 8 health down to 6. The other Lady Claw, which is right here, will try and get as close to Sun as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4. So close, but not within range. Now it's Maya's turn. The first thing Maya's going to do on her turn is move, move, move. 1, 2, 3. She gets herself out of darkness. She's still within range 1, so she can attack that Lady Claw. My first cube action, I'm going to do Coordinated Strike. This will allow me to place out my pet. We're looking for a 7 plus. That's a 14, so that'll deal 3 damage. Our second roll is a 9. That is 6. 6 damage is just what we need to take out this Lady Claw. I'll place out my cute little fluffy puppy right here. Then let's use our suppression shots. So we're going to move 3 spaces, and let's go ahead and hit both Ravagers for 1 point of damage. That knocks them both down to 5 health. We'll move Maya, 1, 2, 3, getting a little bit closer. Then we'll activate our puppy. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's not close enough. Oh, I was hoping that he would be. Bummer, but that's all right. We're getting close to this orange Lady Claw. The Abomination is last to go. He moves 2 areas. 1, 2. What you do as a large mini, you will push any of the smaller minis that are on your team 1 area forward as you push them. Fortunately for us, though, he's on this bridge. He is not able to attack us because he only attacks melee. That's good because he'd attack for 6 right now because he is adjacent to this darkness. But yeah, that's all he's going to do. We'll now move to Sun's turn.
Sun's going to start her activation again by using Join the Fray. This has to be probably the most used skill I own. We're going to again gain our 2 shields back, and then we're also going to go ahead, move 2, and also hit with +0. Sun's going to skitter across the deck, 1, 2, 3, right to here, and go ahead and punch her. Sun is attacking next to darkness, so it's at -2, which means I need a 9+. And at this time, I got a 3. Oh, those dice! Even though she failed as, I don't even know why I keep saying even though she failed. Hopefully someday I'll see, even though she hit, she's going to go ahead and use her abundant steps to move 1, 2 over these guys to right here in between them. And now we're going to move into our next action, which actually isn't going to be an action. I'm going to use both of my focus tokens. Check it out. We have 2 different options of using our focus attack, and I'm actually going to use all 3 of these to do Whirlwind Strike, which is cleave 2, so I can target 2 enemies. I get +1 to hit, so hopefully that'll help, and I get to do +2 damage. And you know what's even better? When you get +6 to your die roll. I've been dissing my dice so bad that I need to use this. The only way I can miss this attack is if I roll a 1. Don't you be dissing me, dice. We can't roll a 1. Yes, we got a 15. We actually got it. Ooh, we're going to do a ton of damage. That was an amazing attack. My kick both these guys in the head. Whoa, they're both out of here. Fantastic. Now we're going to go ahead. We have 1 action still left. I'm going to go ahead and use that Iron Fist. Oh, hopefully it doesn't fail me. I get +0 to the roll. I can re-roll. Hopefully we don't get 2 4s. And it's time to actually maybe start taking out this abomination. Let's see if we can do it. Come on, Sun. A 4. Oh, no, Sun, you have failed me yet again. Well, I guess she didn't fail me. It's that die.
You get a reroll.
I do get a reroll. Colin just told me. I totally forgot about that. Check it out. Now I get, oh, Sun just went from 0 to hero so fast. She was able to do 8 damage because she does 3, and Iron Fist does an extra +1 damage. So that's 4 + 4 is 8 damage. That takes him down to 4 health. Wow. Sun, you have totally redeemed yourself. And so have you, Die. After that amazing hit, Sun's going to go quack, quack, stand right here, give him the old bring it on symbol and stay right there. I'm not even going to move. We're just going to stay there and take on the beast.
As Sun is trying to take on the beast, this Lady Claw is going to go next, moving 1, 2 adjacent to the darkness. She is going to attack Sun for 6 damage.
6 damage is coming our way, and I'm going to first use our token here to get rid of 2 of it because we have our shield. Then I'm going to prevent 2 more, so all we're actually going to take is 2 damage from this, bringing me down to 9. And Colin has so graciously reminded me that I am knocked down.
Maya will go next. She's going to try and help out Sun as much as she can. 1, 2, 3. Total movement of 3. She really needs some boots of agility, you guys. She is at range 1 of that Lady Claw. Let's do our twin strike. We will use one of our 2 remaining cubes left. That gives her 2 attacks at +1 hit. Looking for a 7+. First one, oh, just a 7. Beautiful. That is 3 damage. Second one, that's a 10. That puts her down to 4 total health. For my second cube action, let's do our precise shot. We get +2 to our hit, +1 damage, and crit on 16+. However, I'm going to have to reclaim all or unwillingly recall all of my cubes, and so that means I'm going to gain a curse cube. We all know where I'm putting that. I'm going to put that on my whistle blow. We have to also draw our rune, and that means we're likely going to take 2 damage. We've got a blue rune, and we're going to be placing darkness like this. That means we are going to take 2 damage. I'm just going to soak it. We're going to go down to 4 health. We'll place that darkness tile right here. Unfortunately, this means now our attack, we have a -2 for our hit, but the precise shot gave us a +2 to our hit, so we're just staying at our regular +1 from our precision. We need a 7 or higher to hit. Oh, a 5. We just missed. Fluffy will now get to activate. He'll move 1, 2, 3, 4 right back here. He's going to attack that Lady Claw, moving her down to 2 health. He would give her a bleed 1 token. Yeah, she's not immune to that. So yeah, she'll have a bleed 1 token as well. Oh man, If only we could have dealt one more damage. The Abomination is next. He's not even going to move. He strikes, which means he hits the entire area. Fortunately, only Sun is here. Bairnt had reminded me to make sure Fluffy moved out of that area, otherwise he'd be a fluffy pancake. So he's back over here. Sun is going to get hit for a total of 5 damage, but remember, he is somehow adjacent to this darkness, so he hits for 6 damage.
The power of Sun is going to emerge. We're going to go ahead and Diamond Body. 6 damage, we can take that. I'm going to go ahead, grab a key token, and I can retaliate 2 against that Abomination, bringing him down to 2 health. 6 damage, I'm not concerned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I go down to 3. She's got a stable mind and body. Sadly, she's not moving anywhere because she got a -2 to her movement because of the slow. She's also bleeding, which means we're going to have to take 2 damage at the beginning of her turn. Then we're going to go ahead and discard this token. With the Abomination done, it's going to move back to my turn, and because of that, I'm going to have to take the 2 damage from slow. I go down to 1. I'm a little bit worried now, but I got a plan. We're going to go ahead, remove Curse, heal 2, and cleanse 1. So we're going to go ahead, cleanse this. We're going to heal ourselves 2, bring ourselves back up to 3. At this point, I do have to do a willing recall, which means I get all my cubes back. Bad news is I have to put this back down on 4 strike. It's not going anywhere but 4 strike for the rest of my life. And that's the end of that willing recall. So now we have to go ahead and draw a darkness token. I said willing, it was an unwilling recall. Totally different, actually. We're going to go ahead and draw a rune and see what darkness gets placed underneath me. Oh, wow, look, we got a C, or maybe it's a bridge. That's pretty cool. It's a red one, though, I'll tell you that. We are now standing in darkness. We'll show you in just a second, but since we're here, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of my turn done. We're going to go back down to 1, still a little scared, but now we're going to go ahead and do our last action cube, which is going to be low kick. I'm going to get +3 to hit, and I'm going to knock somebody down, and we're going to go totally after that Lady Claw. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here's the board. We just wanted to show you where that darkness tile was fitting, so it's on top of absolutely everybody. So I'm going to be getting -2 to this roll. Hopefully we can take her out. So we're at a net +1 to this roll. Let's go ahead and get this person. Oh, we got a 12. I'm super excited for that. That means we were able to take her out doing the 3 damage. She only had 2 left. She is off the board. That's it for my turn. I've used all my cubes, but it's not. I've got a key token. We're going to go ahead and see if we can take that Abomination out. Of course, I'm standing in darkness. That's -2, but I'm not afraid. Sun just needs to roll a 9. Let's do this. She got a 1. That's just the opposite of a hitting. Now, of course, we critically failed, which means not only do we miss, but we have to go ahead and suffer fatigue 1, which means we have to exhaust a cube. Also, we could at any time use our abundant steps, so we're going to go ahead and make sure that we get rid of this token. And since we did, we're going to go ahead and also get rid of this one because it also subtracts 2 from our movement that we could have used during our abundant steps. So good news is she can move now, but I don't really want to. Again, I want to stay right there, toe-to-toe to this thing. I'm planning to take this thing down, even though I only got 1 hit point left. Maybe he'll critically miss. Both, they don't roll dice.
Maya's going to try and help Sun out as much as she can. Sun's having a rough night, I think. We're going to have Maya move 1, 2. Now, we're still adjacent to the darkness, so we're still going to get -2 to our hit, but we should be able to attack him. He's within range 1. Let's do it. What we're going to do is first try and use our precise shot. This will give us +2 hit, which will offset the darkness. If we miss there, then we'll do a coordinated strike and do 2 attacks at -2 hit, but at least we get to roll the dice twice. For our first roll, all we need is a 7 or higher, and we get a 14. You know what that means? This Abomination is Abomagon. The last of the noisome creatures fall underneath your onslaught, and you pause a moment to collect your breath. You survey the scene of the destruction around you. The devastation to the wharf is far greater than you could have imagined, and numerous fires continue to ravage the dockside unchecked. Thankfully, it seems that the bulk of the abominable monstrosities have been reclaimed by the sea. The few who remain exhibit horrifying mutations, pairing what appears to be claws and tentacles of submarine things with the nauseatingly familiar rotted aspect of other creatures of darkness. Reluctantly, you look up towards the Sea Wing, Admiral Luccanor's flagship. Truly, she was cursed, and having seen the creatures of darkness emerge from that hulk firsthand, you have no doubt that the haunted artifact lies aboard her. The only favorable omen is the slowly lightening sky as the dark of night makes way for the day. You pray that the sun will reveal better things than the moon did. Either way, you know it's time to go aboard. The adventure ends here. There's no camp phase. We'll immediately move to the next adventure. So we're not going to even change anything on our board. The only thing we get is we'll draw 7 cards from the camp deck, and each hero who participated may take 1. Of the 7 items that we drew, only 3 of them we can actually use. Looking at what we have here, Bairnt's going to choose the Bloodlust Blade, because that totally makes sense for a monk, but the ability is pretty awesome. Whenever you roll a 16 plus, the attack gains bleed 1, and then I'm going to grab this trinket. Whenever you roll a 16 plus, the attack gains your choice of burn 1 or poison 1. Chapter 2, The Ruin of Luccanor. As you scramble aboard the ship, you can't help but notice the dilapidated state of the wood. It's as if the vessel had been rotting there for centuries, suffering every imaginable effect of time, damp, and sun. The dense fog still blankets the bay, jealously resisting the early morning sunlight. Even thicker bands of mist coil outwards from a gaping hole that dominates the center of the ship's main deck, splitting it nearly in half and completely separating the admiral's cabin from the helm. So great is the rift that you are astonished that it has not split the vessel in half and cast it under the waves. The only sound that breaks the awful stillness is a creaking in the bowels of the ship, a distant moaning like the laments of the damned. You hold your breath for a moment, straining to hear anything over the ominous noises. Nothing. Not even the lapping of the harbor waves can be heard. The air hangs still and heavy, unruffled by the slightest breeze as the fog clings to you with a paternal chill. Suddenly, a new sound echoes through the claying mist, a heavy tread on the boards of the deck. You step back, the creak of the warped and twisted wood sounding thunderous in the still. Now you hear guttural sounds across the deck, and the stomping grows, hurry, and headed in your direction. Vague shapes appear, shrouded by the fog. At first, you think they may be the crew of the Suing, but as they become more distinct, it becomes painfully clear that there are no crewmen. Maybe some of them were once, but no more. A hooded figure appears in the gloom, spouting what must be orders in a debased language you cannot identify. The hideous malformed sea beasts respond, pressing towards you as an enormous silhouette begins to take shape in the haze, the wooden planking groaning violently under its weight. With every step of the huge creature, it seems that the already rotten vessel will surely collapse, dragging all of you to a dank and sunless grave in the bottomless waters of the Umbral Harbor. It looks like here we have the same rules for this chapter 2. So instead of being summoned when, for the darkness, instead of it being summoned when the initiative token reaches the rune card, it's whenever you get a curse cube. We have here the standard behavior. We will still only get 1 curse cube, and our adventure goal is investigate the ship, trying to find the cursed artifact and collect clues about what happened to the crew. Here we have the ship. We will start over here on this side. We're going to have, a Shadow Cultist over here, Veteran. Now it says GM Gray Mini, just like before. I'm pretty sure that's a white mini. We're going to have a random Black Mini Rookie right here. We're going to have 1 interaction token right here and a Rookie Ravager right here.